Hey, what's going on, y'all? It is Ricky and Omar coming to you guys on Wednesday, May 10th, year of our Lord 2023. The Lakers are gearing up to play the Golden State Warriors tonight in Game 5 of the second round of the Western Conference playoffs. Omar and I wanted to just quickly, continue to feed the beast, hop on and talk to you guys a little bit about what we're looking forward to for Game 5 and give a reaction looking back on Game 4 and see if what that means for what we can expect tonight. So if you guys aren't already, make sure you are supporting Late Night Lake Show wherever you get your hashtag good content. We just picked up the NBA store as an official affiliate, so make sure you're using the link in our descriptions or on our website to shop for your latest NBA merch. And of course, shout out to our people at Prize Picks for continuing to support us. Use our promo code LNLS for an instant $100 match deposit after sign up at Prize Picks. Omar, how you feeling today, man? I think you said beforehand this is your first podcast since Rudy Gobert got suspended. So welcome back. Good to see you.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't come on, right? Because we're literally one win away from the Western Conference Finals. Like what, bro? Like I can't, like
that's crazy to say out loud.
Yeah, you have to repeat. I have to repeat that. We are one win away from the Western Conference Finals. That is insane. Every day and every moment, I can't like this season literally has to have like a 30 for 30 or some sort of documentary of how like the ups and downs, when we come into the offseason, still Westbrook's on the team and, the season's a struggle. Coach Ham is, first year rookie head coach and, he has his struggles. And then we make that trade.
Start.
Yeah, I know. And we make that trade and, everything just changes. And, you and I and Kwame and other people on LNLS, whether it's the spaces or the podcast with the folks that are helping us out with the articles and all the good stuff that we have, hashtag good content. We've been saying, man, I mean, the formula is there. It's Anthony Davis and LeBron James and just the depth that needs to go with it. And what we have now in terms of complementary pieces, we're right there, man. I think yesterday Vegas has now put us up as favorites to not only make it to the finals. I think we're tied with Denver potentially to win it all, which is absolutely insane. And shout out to my Boston fans. I live in Boston, and they dropped a huge one last night, and they dropped into Vegas in terms of their title favorite chances. So, I mean, as a Lakers fan out here in Boston, we are living good.
I feel that, man. And, not to get too greedy as the Lakers look to steal Game 5, and it's going to be just an undoubtedly tough matchup tonight, going back to San Francisco. But if we could somehow get a combination of knocking out the Warriors in 5 tonight and then the Sixers turning around and knocking out the Celtics, oh, man, I don't know, man. We're going to need EpiPens all over Laker Nation because just the dopamine levels are going to be way too high. We're going to have to bring them back down. But in all seriousness, like we said, it is going to be a battle. The Lakers squeaked out in a thriller, right? A 104-101 victory led by one of the unsung heroes, the forgotten son, former starter at the beginning of the Lakers' 9-year season. Lonnie Walker comes in, drops 15 all in the fourth quarter to lead the Lakers to victory, man. I love the Warriors fans' tears talking about how, a bench warmer came in and just lit and saved the Lakers from a victory, and how the Warriors feel like it should be 2-2 right now. And even the Warriors in the locker room felt like that they let a game slip away. One thing I think I just want to emphasize about the series, and more specifically this Lakers roster, is you've had this quote unquote unsung hero, now 3 or 4 times now? D'Angelo Russell
times
has had a game, right? Lonnie Walker has had a game. Rui Hachimura has had a game. You know what I'm saying? So it's hilarious that folks look at this as that's a blip on the radar. That'll never happen again. When you turn the telescope around, and maybe it's just that the Lakers have a lot more guard depth than we're willing to talk about. Lonnie Walker off the bench as a microwave, just dropping 15, is not because nobody decided to guard Lonnie Walker Jr. Steph Curry was right the hell in front of him for most of those points as he was getting barbecued. Now, we were one bucket away after Lonnie Walker dropping Steph Curry to the earth. He did airball the shot afterwards, but we were one bucket away from actually having an all-out hailstorm. But the main point is, you cannot look at how the series has progressed, how the Warriors have now thrown out 3 different starting lineups, and the Lakers seemingly figuring out a counter to each one. I just find it baffling how folks can still think that the Warriors have the upper hand. From watching Game 4, fully understanding, hell, I think the Warriors, like you tweeted out today, are 7.5 favorites at home, fully understanding that this is a big must-win game for the defending champions. What's your confidence level at? Where are you heading at going into tonight?
Yeah, it's tough because we just went through that Memphis Grizzlies series, and we know what happened when we went back to Memphis, and the energy was super low. But I'm going to be a little bit optimistic about this series, just because of the comments that we've seen. Not only from the role players, just from LeBron and Anthony Davis, and obviously, this team, the Golden State Warriors, obviously cuts deep for LeBron because they've had so many battles, and think about it, like he's had to go up as a massive underdog against the Warriors multiple times in the finals, and have missed out on a bunch of championships just based off that. And I think if the game is there or close enough, that the Lakers are not going to just sit like pretty and just like let the game go. I think they're going to try their best to win. Where my confidence lies is I don't really think the Golden State Warriors can really adjust anymore. Like, I think they've done everything that they could do in terms of changing lineups, changing rotations. Like, I would be surprised if we see a different lineup today. I think they would stick with the Gary Payton Jr. Starting lineup. And now we have film of that. And we made the proper adjustments as the second half went on to attack accordingly from tip-off, right? So I think the energy just needs to be there from our superstars. They always, need to lead, and then the role players follow. And I also think, as the series has gone on, our guards have gotten a lot more confident. Like Austin Reeves, it's no surprise that Reeves has had 2 good games after the insertion of Lonnie Walker. He's been, spelling him. He's been giving him a little bit more breathers on the bench for him to come off the second half, and he's been just scoring. Like, we're finally seeing Reeves from the first round, and I can't blame him. I mean, he said in an interview that, like, this is game 92 of him for him for the first time ever. Like, he's never played 92 games in a year. He said it's like this is 3 college seasons in 1 year for him, and he's chasing Steph and Clay. So like the ask is already like high enough for him. But I mean, he's a gamer. Like, he's always there in the right position, right place. Honestly, that's where my mindset is. I'm optimistic. I think I would say I'm a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. But like I said, like if the game is tight and it's close, like and we're heading to second half, I can see, LeBron and AD take it to that next gear and really, really try to put the game away. And when they do that, like you could clearly see the Lakers, and we've already seen that as evident from them being up 3-1, that they're the better team, right? Like when they're focused, they're locked in, they're playing the right lineups. We have, more balanced depth and production. It's just hard for the Golden State Warriors to overcome that. And that's basically what I'm hanging my hat on. Outside of that and outside of the game, there's a lot of stuff going on in the locker room, like Jordan Poole stuff. I'm sure we're gonna get into that, maybe maybe not, but like Jordan Poole stuff. Kuminga's not even getting minutes, and he was like playing really well for them, earlier in the season. They have no size. Like Looney went from being like their second best player last series to only getting 10 minutes, which is absolutely insane. And I don't also one last thing. Anthony Davis did not make an all defensive team, and I hope to God he saw that or read that and just scoffed at the fact that he didn't get considered. He didn't get a single defensive player of the year vote, and the votes that he got for all defensive team is putrid. And I hope that he brings the energy tonight, because just show the world once again who the best defensive player of the world is, and that's Anthony Davis. I said a lot. My bad.
No, it's all good. Lot to dive into there. First of all, on the AD side, it's just, I just find it hilarious. So when you look at it, Anthony Davis ended up playing more minutes than the defensive player of the year, Jaren Jackson Jr., and nothing against Triple J, right? He's a monster. We saw what he's capable of last series, but at the same time, Anthony Davis was a better basketball player, right? You look at this list, and while there are some really good guys on there, restricting it down to just positions, I think is stupid, since you don't do that for the All-Star game anymore. And then furthermore, Anthony Davis is still regarded as a top 3 best defensive player in the league. I love how narratives and just the institutionalized, assumptions of how players are going to perform on a year in and year out basis. And yet there is still no recognition by votes or hardware or otherwise that Anthony Davis is him on the defensive end. That would be a shame to any person that has been given a vote throughout Anthony Davis's career, that he will end up not potentially winning a Defensive Player of the Year award. And even furthermore, in a season like he had, yes, there was injury stricken. The number of games may not be where you want him to be. My motherfucker, did you see him when he was on the court? Like, what was that in question? Did you see AD getting bitched by players throughout the year? No, he was inflicting his will. Anthony Davis makes you play offense like he wants you to play offense. Mm-hmm. It's not the other way around. The man is on a different stratosphere. And like you said, I hope he saw it. I hope he's pissed off. I hope that just leads to the same level of impact that he's already had. Taking it up a level is one thing, right? But Anthony Davis has already done enough on the defensive end where I say, if you just do that again, we might be on our way to the Western Conference Finals after tonight.
I was just doing a quick deep dive on Basketball Reference. In 2017-2018 season, Rudy Gobert won the DPOY, and he was all first defensive team, and he only played 56 games. Guess who played 56 games this year?
Marshawn Davis Jr.
And he was not considered for either Defensive Player of the Year or all defensive first or second team.
Just goes to show the hypocrisy of the bullshit, right? Like, it again, disappointed, but not surprised. It's all good. Like we said during the bubble year, we will settle for the hardware that's handed out on stage when the confetti is raining down. So when we come back, I do want to dive in real quick into the Warriors' actual third largest adjustment that they've made so far with the lineup insert in GP2, and how that has potentially moved AD more onto the perimeter, and then how the Lakers decided to counter that back. Late Night Lake Show. We'll be right back.
The Late Night Lake Show podcast is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best legal way to play daily fantasy player props in states like California, New York, Texas, and more. You pick 2 to 5 players and an over-under on their projections, and you can win up to 10 times on any entry. The best part is you can mix players from different sports. You could take the over on LeBron combined with the under on Mahomes in the same entry. Prize Picks is the easiest way to play daily fantasy because it's just you versus the projected numbers. Just use our promo code LNLS, and any deposit you make can receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100. So go support the brand and go win you some money. It's the best of both worlds. Again, use our promo code LNLS.
So, yeah, man, I get, shout out to Steve Kerr. It was something that obviously Steph Curry was excited about when they asked him about the adjustment that the Warriors had planned for Game 4. That was inserting Gary Payton II into the starting lineup, taking out Green, who had replaced Looney in the lineup. So, third time's a charm, or so they thought. But the Warriors did have some level of success, right? Steph Curry, had a really, really, really strong basketball game. Dropped 31 and 10 and 14 Unreal. Assists, right? Like that is what, A1 grade A players do when they need to perform in the lights are brightest. So we will forever be, Well, we're appreciative of Steph Curry's game over here. We won't full out go fanboy over him, but that's what superstars do, right? They still went back to San Francisco with the L, but nonetheless, it sounded like the Warriors felt pretty good about that adjustment. Gary Payton II did, while Anthony Davis was guarding him, did kind of bring him a little bit further out than maybe the Lakers wanted to. And it opened up a lot of passing opportunities for Steph. 14 assists, kind of unheard of, right? And for a guy that's such a dangerous scorer. But what'd you make? What'd you make of that change? And then what'd you make of the Lakers' adjustment to trying to get AD back into the post more?
Yeah. So at the surface level, I when the lineup was announced, I was like, oh man, they're going really, really small. That should be advantageous for us, obviously, as the bigger, taller, larger team. But, they're basically going all in on defensive foot speed and using the speed against us. The other thing that was underrated about the Gary Payton stuff, because I haven't watched him too much, but like he's such a good passer out of that short roll, where JaMychal Green was not, right? So like when JaMychal Green is setting that screen, he's looking to either pop or no, actually, yeah, he's trying to look to pop, which makes Anthony Davis's life really easy because his man is right there on the side. But Gary Payton is going to force, our defense to bend. And, our backline defenders weren't really ready for Gary Payton to come out of that short roll. And he can actually finish really well because he's super athletic. And, if someone doesn't rotate, he's going to finish at the rim. And if someone does rotate, he can make that pass in the corner. And obviously they have either Wiggins or Clay in the corner tucked away. So it's really hard to leave them or sag off them because you have, our defense, their assignment is to stay home with them. But I thought they made an excellent switch in the second half. They put Anthony Davis on Wiggins. Mm-hmm. So Wiggins, he's not as skilled out of the short roll. So he's going to look to either pop, or even if he's in the short roll, he doesn't really know what to do with the ball in that space. He's kind of in no man's land. If you haven't had the skill as a ball handler to set up an offense or whatnot, you're not going to really know what to do. So they kind of went away from that. They kind of went away from screening Anthony Davis. So that's how we started getting stops in the second half. I would imagine that that's what they would do again for this game. And we would get to start off the game that way, would be really helpful. I think at one point in the game 4, the Warriors were killing us in the paint, where it was 32-22. So they were plus 10 at halftime. Mm-hmm. I don't remember exactly where we finished towards the end of the game, but we obviously started to minimize those paint touches as the game went on. The other thing that the Warriors are doing too now, even with the Gary Payton screen, is they're setting it super, super high. So It's forcing like Anthony Davis to be up on Steph, like past the 3-point line. I think it may make sense to just let him take those 35, 36-foot bombs, just because obviously it's Steph, but like, at some point you got to start working the numbers, right? Like if you're going to give up like a 80% type of, layup or dunk versus a 36-foot 3-point jump shot, it may not be bad, especially the way our game plan on offense is to just keep on attacking Steph. His legs are going to get really, really tired as the game goes on. So I kind of like our chances there. I mean, again, it's all a numbers game, right? Like obviously if he starts hitting, then you adjust. And it's kind of touch and go. You kind of like keep on managing the situation as the game goes on, right? But they should be smart, and they should like have these mental conversations before going into the game. But I think we'll definitely see AD on Wiggins today, and obviously I think that would help us a ton just to keep AD around the paint. And obviously we know all the other guards or all the other players on the Warriors, they're already scared anytime they come around the paint if AD is hanging. So I like our chances, man.
I wonder if Draymond Green has covered in his post-game recaps how he is just a non-applicable on offense. Like he hit a nice move on AD with that fake pass and went behind the back for the layout. But from an offensive perspective, Draymond Green's not giving him nothing. Hell, Clay looks dangerous 1 second, and then he's just chucking them fuckers up.
I didn't
man.
even know Clay came to LA. Honestly, he was playing for the Lakers.
Maybe
Shout
he's
out
just
to
waiting for
Dad.
Game 6, man. That's why I think the Lakers got to get it done tonight. Maybe he's waiting to be Game 6 Clay and get his shooting stroke back. I mean, the Warriors were 33-8 during the regular season at home. In the playoffs, they're 3-2, right? So as treacherous it is playing in San Francisco, it's not impossible. The Kings took one. Now the Lakers have took one, looking to take another one before heading back to Los Angeles. So I think for me, man, the one thing that I'm looking towards is in our conversations about the other guys that have stepped up, Anthony Davis's dominance on both ends of the court. I'm glad we got over that stupid conversation about him being off and on every other game while also being the best defensive player on the court every single game. I think my eyes are turning back towards the crown and the king. LeBron James averaging, about 22 in playoffs this season. Historically is about a 29, 9-7 player during closeout games. Now, Darvin Ham talking post game saying that he feels that LeBron has got some gas left in the tank that he's saving for the later rounds. I would like to hear that engine roar a little bit. Can we fire that puppy up, right, for a closeout game? I feel like this is the time to take the wide body to the auto show and let them know. Take it to the car show, let them know. It's going to take a LeBron James game for us to steal this one on the road. Omar, what have you made of LeBron's performances this series? And do you believe that this is the point in time where it's like, all right, well, if you got it, LeBron, let's see a couple less threes, couple more drives, couple more post up. Let's start rearranging them shoulder pads as he does when he starts going into Super Saiyan mode.
Yeah, I've been in absolute awe just watching LeBron, just because you know how he's always talked about, like, he plays the game the right way and he's a basketball player, and it's not like I'm not a point guard, I'm not a power forward, whatever it is. He's like a true Swiss Army knife type player. Like, he is literally like elite at pretty much anything and everything. And as each game goes on, because especially in the playoffs, each game is its own entity, like depending on what's needed, like he kind of just figures out like, okay, all right, I'm going to give you a 20-20 game today. Like, I'm going to put up 20 plus points, 20 rebounds, because that's what's needed for this game and for us to win.
Which he did this playoffs.
The last round in OT, hit the game winner or the game sealing bucket on Dylan Brooks. Shout out to him. He made all defensive second team, which I have no idea how that happened, but I guess he's been tricking everyone.
Shout out Memphis for posting about it too. It's literally the copy and paste same thing of what the Toronto Raptors did to Dwayne Casey by firing him and then him being announced as the winner of the Coach of the Year award. Literally same vibe.
That was a year LeBron swept them, right? It was LeBronto.
It was something like, it was the last time that he took him out back and taught him a lesson.
Yeah, I think that might have been 2018 when that was his insane playoff run. So back to LeBron. I mean, I've just been amazed. Like, how many times do we see superstars that are aging late and some that are hampered, that they just stick to their guns and they're stubborn in their ways and they'll just continue to play whatever style that's worked for them all career. And clearly it's like, okay, yeah, you don't really, you don't got that anymore. But like, he still looks to do other things because he has so much skill in so many facets of the game. I would love, and I've been saying this on the timeline, and I know it's going to take a lot of energy out of him. Just please work out of the post. Good things are going to happen. The second he drops those shoulders, like you said, he gets a few easy buckets, a few foul calls, they're going to start doubling him, and he will slice and dice that defense up. And the amount of guards that we have now, they're all dynamic. They can score at three levels. Obviously, some are elite at from 3 points. Some are really good at mid-range. Some are good at finishing. But because they have all that bag, as Twitter says, on these closeouts or on these doubles, he's going to LeBron's going to make that right read, make that perfect pocket pass. And it's up to our guards to finish. And it's not like there's a Jaren Jackson Jr. in the middle. It's Draymond Green. That's the tallest guy on the team, 6'6". So I would love to see that. And one thing I want to mention, game 2, LeBron came out really, really hot. Like he felt it that game. So if he can get his 3-ball going tonight, look out.
I mean, if LeBron's 3 is falling, I feel fantastic about the Lakers' chances, right? Especially with how much he's personally has relied on it through these first 2 rounds. But, like you said, I think if he takes a little bit of the same message that Lakers fans have been preaching to Anthony Davis and maybe start inside, get some easy baskets, then start working your way out, and then, start kissing them 3-point shots. Obviously, LeBron can fire them threes off a lot faster than we feel comfortable Anthony Davis doing it in a game, but it's kind of the same sense. Get your confidence up, right? Put the ball in the basket, draw some fouls on them boys. That bench, if Steph guarding you, barbecue chicken, if they bring in Dante DiVincenzo or Jordan Poole or Jonathan Kuminga, as Kwame would say, it's a buffet line, man. LeBron James in his 20th season is, like I said, averaging 22 points a game. And sometimes I feel like that's by design right now. I think that the Lakers, having only dropped 3 basketball games, right, so far this playoffs, haven't needed Super Saiyan scoring LeBron James. Maybe we can hear the lion roar a little bit. Just give me a first, either a first or second quarter where it's like, oh yeah, then people in this arena are starting to get a little nervous. You remember in the fourth quarter last game when Steph hit that 4-point play, turned around to the Lakers crowd and gave that little meow out. I guess it was a yell, but it sounded like a little kitten out there. I want one of those. I want LeBron to look into some billionaire's eyes sitting courtside, readjust them shoulder pads and let them know, brother, it might be time to fire up the Bentley because it might be an early night for y'all, okay? Let's talk predictions, brother. We go into game 5 tonight. Lakers are a 7.5 underdog, story of our lives. We've been the We Believe Lakers all season, right? But in all seriousness, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a grind. And if the Lakers are going to pull it out, they're going to have to literally rip the hearts out of the defending champs and stomp on it. And you ask a couple of fans, they say the Warriors might be ready to go home. It's been a tumultuous season from literally the preseason to today. They do not know where Jordan Poole is mentally. Clearly, Draymond Green is not even acknowledging that he's going to step up on his podcast and be a performer out there. So maybe Steph might be a little checked out and says, Lakers go up on a little run. He goes, you know what? I'm more looking forward to the next iteration of this Warriors team. And maybe that's without Draymond and Jordan Poole and XYZ and Elemental P. I don't know, man. A lot of different angles to think about this. Omar, when we wake up tomorrow morning, what is the result?
A Lakers W.
Ooh.
We're going to get that W.
Answer.
Because if we can keep it close and we can make a run in the third quarter, I feel like we can rip the hearts out of that team, because that team and locker room is fragile. And you know how in closeout games, there's a point in the game, even if it's a bit early, where the other team, other players, other coaches kind of know, the fans kind of know, like, yeah, we're not going to come back from that. Once that, doubt creeps into their minds, their hearts, that's when, the Lakers, they just need to step on the throats and just take care of business. We didn't even talk about the fact that if they win today, there's potentially a week off between this round and the next.
Can't understand how huge that is.
That's significant. Like for the amount of miles LeBron has, the amount of wear and tear our other guys have, that is significant. And I already know next round's going to be another war. It's going to be a battle depending on who we go up against. So yeah, I mean, that has to also be on their minds. Like, man, like imagine just a week off, being home in your own bed, being with your family. Like that's the mental energy that you can, save from all that. I think that matters a ton.
So Lakers in 5 is Omar's official prediction. I said Lakers in 6 going into the series. And if somebody asked me what the result of each game would be, I probably would have said it in the order it actually happened, right? Lakers win game 1, Warriors defend game 2. They split going back to LA. The Lakers, who have not lost at home, by the way, in the playoffs, and even furthermore, have not lost a home game since LeBron James returned from that right foot stress fracture or that right foot injury. They've been undefeated. Now, to go 6, that means the Warriors would have to take care of business tonight. So I'm going to end the podcast without giving an official answer because I'm not going to speak ill of my Lakers. But fuck it, Lakers are winning in 5, God damn it. That's what we doing. That's what's happening. They're going to take care of business. The funeral begins this evening. Because of limiting our carbon footprint, the Lakers are deciding we don't need to fly a body back from Los Angeles to San Francisco. Let's just leave the services locally. People don't have to worry about transportation fees. Let's take care of business in the arena tonight. Let's do our handshakes. Let's do our big hugs. Let's do our Draymond Green is a double agent accusations officially. I'll be looking out for that podcast in the morning, Dre. Let's just get this shit over with because the Lakers have bigger fish to fry than the goddamn Golden State Warriors and their fans. Let's just call it what it is. The better team is going to handle business tonight. How was that, Omar?
That was beautifully said.
All right,
I'm so happy we got to hear your prediction.
There we go.
The world needed it.
There we go. And if not, Lakers in 6, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That'll do it for this episode of the Late Night Lake Show podcast. Appreciate you, Omar, for making yourself available, brother. Good to chop it up with you. The championship ticker is down to 9. The quest for number 18 is down to 9, and it could be 8 after tonight with the Lakers moving forward to the Western Conference Finals. We are monitoring the situation closely. So for Omar, it's Ricky. We'll see you on the timeline. Peace.